All right, gang, here we are. We're finally getting up, getting going. Beautiful Bimini. Let's see if I can get a shot out here for you before I get out. Nice. Last time I was here, if you watched the video, it was pouring rain, and I didn't make it past the end of the pier. I think the camera's fogging up. It's kind of fun. It tells you how hot it is versus how cold it is in the cabin. I don't even keep it cold in here. Got ESPN on in the background. Hopefully that's okay. And nothing interesting on there today. Gonna head out, obviously. Hopefully the cabin steward's still working and cleans up my room. One of the things, in case you did not know this, on Celebrity, Royal Caribbean did away with a twice a day cabin stewards taking care of your room, and so they did it once a day. Celebrity did stay with twice a day, so you still get that benefit. I really only need the once a day. I'm fine with that, but it is kind of nice to come back after going out, fresh towels in here and everything else. So gonna get the day going. Last night was a blast. I might tell you a little bit more about that later. I'm trying to think back and go back through some of the video. I think I almost got like the end of the night. The only thing that I didn't do was the end. Kevin and I went and ate my usual midnight in the Ocean View Cafe. So I don't think there was really anything that interesting after that. It was just really Kevin and I hung out. We did go to the club. I don't think I got any shots. No, I might have got a couple, but that probably ended the night. So when I do my editing, I'll figure out how to end last night's video, day one, because I didn't really do anything at the end to say goodnight or anything like that. It was just, go to bed. So take you along today. Not sure if we're going out to Bimini. Not sure what the guys are doing. I haven't found anybody yet. I don't know what they're up to. I texted, but that means they might be out there already. So, okay, here we are back outside. Just got done with a quick call it breakfast. You know how much I brag about the food on Celebrity, at least as far as the vegan options, but breakfast is never a winner for me on any ship. Not a big breakfast fan anyway, but they didn't even have bagels today, so I had basically breakfast consisted of. Now I did have a bar in the cabin because I always bring my own stuff like that, and my IM8 is in my pocket, so I'll throw that in some water pretty soon, so get my vitamins going. But on the ships, there's not really, again, those breakfast options. So today I just had a couple of hash browns. That doesn't really cut it. It won't get me through the day, but it's almost lunchtime already, actually. So still not sure if I'm leaving the ship. The guys are out on the island. I did get a couple texts. I've got all my stuff and my ID to leave the ship with. You do have to bring your ID even in Bimini. Make sure you can get back on the ship. When you're on the private islands, obviously all you need is your SeaPass card. And again, SeaPass card is both Royal Caribbean and Celebrity. They stick to both. So for now, I'm going to go down to the cafe, and hopefully they're still open because they have such limited hours, but they do have fresh juice. I think not going to really time me over either, but so I was wrong about the Spa Café. 12 to 2. So I might wait even if I am going to leave the ship. Fresh juice sounds good, but if you saw my previous video, you may or may not remember the Sky Lounge. I didn't spend a lot of time in here, but this is where the club is. I did some shots out of the back. I thought I'd show you this time a little bit closer. It's really just a nice space on this ship, and I know I said that in a previous video about this space being just kind of unique. It's lost on Royal Caribbean now. There's no real front of the ship glass like this where you can come and sit. Bar's not open yet up here. I don't think it gets real busy here this early in the day. I think they do some of the trivia and stuff like that at some point here. I wasn't paying attention to my cruise compass or my, I don't call it that here, but the app. I wasn't really looking because it's a boys trip. So, you know, they're not going to necessarily be up for the things I do solo, or maybe even with Teresa, like the trivia or, you know, some of the events. So I'm not paying as close attention, but that's okay. I don't, you know, I don't mind the changes in how I travel, right? This is what travel is about, and everything, experiences, and sometimes with friends, it's obviously going to be a much different experience than it is with a wife or solo. Like I said, this is a really cool space up here, Sky Lounge. Last night, I think the only thing it was the club. I didn't see any earlier listing for the bands, but they do sometimes have the bands in here. This is a really cool spot to come see the bands. I think there is tonight. I did check out earlier today the app to see what I might want to do if the guys are going to be crazy and partying too much tonight. But so I'm out on the dance floor right now. That's where the band plays. Like I said, when the bands are in here, it's pretty cool. This is a cool space for it. Ensemble lounge, a little bit different. We went there last night. That's more laid back. Last night was a piano player. He was amazing. And just sitting in there in that very intimate atmosphere and having a glass of wine and relaxing. And actually, Jeff said he almost fell asleep sitting there. But again, that's probably not one of the guy things, but they were kind enough to go with me to see the piano player. So again, I'm gonna probably head out pretty soon. Right now, I'm gonna try and wait for the fresh juice. Go find something else to put my IM8 in. Plenty to do here. There's plenty of activities. I'm gonna get back in that app and actually see what's going on today. So I'm sitting here in Cafe El Baccio, which I believe is on every celebrity ship. And I know it's on the newer Edge class. I know it's on this class, but I haven't been backwards, so I don't know. Maybe there's no Cafe El Baccio. I can assume there are because it seems to be their branding. It's like Royal Caribbean's Cafe Promenade. So they have both iced and hot teas and hot coffees and cappuccinos, espresso. One of the perks of the Elite Plus benefit is that we would get the coffees. I have the drink package this time, so it doesn't really matter. But with Elite Plus, you can get the cappuccinos and things like that, which Teresa likes. So she's if she's ever on board with me, because I keep talking about her when I'm cruising in on the channel, and you guys haven't even met her yet. But when she comes on, she will be having a lot of Cafe El Baccio coffees and stuff like that. I also got myself a bottled water to keep me fresh before things start tonight. Probably going to end up having cocktails again, obviously, with the boys. One of the things that I brought on last time that I didn't really talk about was IM8. IM8 is what I use now. It is, I know everybody's into athletic greens and stuff like that. I used to take complement vitamins. I didn't feel that they could deliver them timely, and there were all sorts of production problems. I think it's a pretty great product, but I became a little dissatisfied. I was still using it, and then IM8 came out, and IM8 has been a great product for me. It gets all the vitamins. As a vegan, we eat pretty well, so we get a lot of the natural stuff that most folks don't get as far as vitamins and minerals and stuff. But there are, go look at the list. There's, I couldn't even go through them all. It's got CoQ10, it's got my B12. I do supplement additional B12 because this doesn't have enough of it for me. But it generally has, at least from an athletic perspective, it's fantastic. It's also third party tested. It's UCP. I don't know. I'm sorry if I forget that. I'll probably put it down here on the if I goofed when I go back and look. But anyway, it's again, third party tested, all that. This is Beckham's company, and he got in with these guys, and they've got a whole medical board and everything else. Taste is a little weird. It takes some getting used to. I let Teresa try it, and she said, "No way, not for me." She did not like the taste at all. I have never tried athletic greens, actually, so I don't know what athletic greens taste like. I know a lot of the athletes, especially the triathletes, are using them. They gave us some free athletic greens at my last Ironman event. Obviously, because I said I didn't try it, I haven't used it. It sits in my drawer of bars and things like that. But this does okay in the smaller bottle like this. It's a little more concentrated than I make it at home. I usually use more when I use ice and more water, a little bit more water to tamp down the taste a little bit. But this will do the trick. I should have had it probably earlier. We're in the 11:40. Well, it's not the noon hour. Almost at the noon hour. Getting the peach mango tea. iced, very good. Doesn't need any sweetener or anything unless you really like the sweeteners and all that. But for me, this is just a great way to get the day going. And tea, it'll still a little bit of caffeine in this one, so it'll give me a little bit of a boost. Couldn't handle the caffeine in a cappuccino today, so I said, nah, I'll get this. So enjoy. Okay, so I was able to make it to the cafe as I was hoping for, Spa Café, and get my beet juice. I don't know if I should try and show you this in here. It did a little differently than I thought. Now, they always call it fresh pressed juice, but it's not like the old days of Royal Caribbean, where on Oasis class ships, up until they built Utopia, one of the downfalls of Utopia, they took out the cafe from the spa. And in the spa, one of my favorite things, like on Oasis class ships, was that you could go and get fresh pressed juice, literally like you would, juice at home. With it actually inspired me several years ago to buy a juicer. I bought a Cuisinart juicer that cost an arm and a leg because I enjoyed it so much on the ship. That currently sits in the closet. I haven't used it in a while. Now that I'm talking about it, maybe I should. But this isn't traditional juicing. They throw some fruits and some of the already juiced, like beet juice and stuff. This is the root juice. I love beet juice. It's very good for you, especially for athletes. And it's okay. It's not the same, but I really do prefer that old Royal Caribbean style where you picked out, I want carrots, I want celery, and they throw it in and they juice it through. This was again thrown in a blender, some fruits with the pre-mixed juice or the pre-made, root juice, and then he blends it with a little bit of ice and stuff, and it's good. It's good. It does the trick. It's healthy and good for you, but not as good as a traditional fresh juice. They also have smoothies and actually some items like a quinoa thing and everything else. I'm a huge fan of quinoa. So there are a couple vegan-friendly options, over there, but it's also got a little bit more of the healthy fare. Very light bites for people. So if you're ever on board, make sure you visit. Very limited hours though. It's really weird. It's like 7 to 10, and then 12 to 2 or 2:30, and that's the only time it's open. And it's not open on the first day. So on a weekend or Saturday and Sunday, but get yourself some juice. Enjoy. Okay, here we are, Bimini. You know what? I'm gonna reach up to the camera and do a little flip around because that's always fun. Just so you can kind of see all the way around here. This is absolutely fantastic compared to last time. So thrilled that last time I was here, to see my prior videos, it was pouring rain. I didn't really make it past the end of the ship here too far. This time, we're gonna make it a little bit further out. I think, as I noted earlier, the guys are already out on the island having a good old time. Richard is scuba diving, which he does. He brings his own gear and everything. And then the other boys are separated. Garrett is at one bar on one part of the island, and Jeff and Kevin are at the other end of the island, another bar. So Garrett's supposedly on his way over there. But I am going to go head out, but I'll show you some of Bimini. Happy to take you along on this. Here I am, once again, Bimini, Bahamas. I'm at the Fisherman's Village. And let's see, there's a sign behind me, the welcome to the Resort World Bimini. So the end of Resorts World, at the end where we just stopped, it was our first stop. I didn't get off there. That's where the pay area is. That's Virgin. They built that. Virgin Cruises, but they let everybody else use it. One of the things that I've heard, I can't speak to it personally, but is that if you go there and it's not a Virgin cruise, you pay for it. I know that because I almost did that last time. But you don't get the Virgin employees from the ship and stuff, so you do not get the same level of service. So if you're thinking about it, you might want to look into that a little bit more than I know it. But that's my story that I've heard from it. I don't know how true that is, but it makes sense to me because I know how Coco Cay is run by some of the folks on the island, but also a big presence of the ship workers, right? Because I know some of the folks on the ships, and the next thing I know, I see them on the island. So I get it. I think that's probably definitely possible. So you might want to look into that if that's a thought of yours. The other thing here, so what I was going to say about the growth, I think this Resorts World and everything is tied to Virgin in some way overall. But my understanding is that's a Hilton. And I thought it used to be branded Hilton, but it does say Resorts World. So I don't know if Virgin bought into that and it's not a Hilton, but you might want to look into that as well. I do know that Virgin was one of the first to come here and do this, right? So I think their imprint here led to the other cruise lines coming here, because it's not just Celebrity coming here besides Virgin, it's the other cruise lines as well. Royal Caribbean comes over here, I know. I'm sure Carnival does. And, you know, it's not a lot here, not a lot to do. My first time, again, getting off here because it was so rainy last time. But I'm going to walk around Fisherman Village and take you along with me for a little bit of that. Walking down what's almost like I'd heard about this golf cart alley. Oh, the black ones here are nice. BMB. That looks like some of the better newer ones that I see. Actually, they still have some of the plastic on them. They must have got a shipment, not putting those out. They're going to run these other ones into the ground. So I've heard from the boys. Kevin left. He's been taking the tram. He can't seem to find his way back to the ship, even though it goes in one big circle. So I don't know what that guy's up to. I'm walking down to Resort World from Fisherman Village just to check it out. Figured I might as well go see the hotel. Maybe I can learn if it is Virgin took it over or what. I don't know. So we'll see. So far, so good around here. It's kind of fun. It's because the guys aren't with me. It's almost like a solo cruise anyway. I miss them. I wish we were here together hanging out. But that's okay. We'll be partying on the ship later. Standing outside of, right outside Resort World now. Made the walk down. Come on in with me. Let's go see what's in here, because I don't know. Oh, police are out front. Might be a bad sign.